You're listening to the InvestNest Real Estate Investing Show, podcast number 18.
Welcome to the InvestNest Real Estate Investing Show, a community for real estate investors to learn, network, and grow. Be sure to join the investnest.com and start learning and earning today.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the InvestNest Real Estate Investing Show, podcast number 18. I'm your host, Travis Murphy, and I want to thank you all for joining me today. Before we get started, I want to remind everybody to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the InvestNest. Be certain to hit the subscribe button if you're listening to the podcast. And if you haven't done so already, go check out theinvestnest.com and create your free investor profile. Check out the blogs. You can write your own blog, do some networking. It's a really fun site, so go check it out. So we're going to have a little bit of a shorter show today. I don't have a guest joining me. We'll have another guest lined up for next week. But today, I just wanted to take a few minutes to touch base with everyone listening and go over something that I think is very important to not just people interested in real estate investing, but any individual in life, and that's your personal finances and how you treat it. I suggest treating personal finance like a business. What does that mean? Businesses follow accounting principles for their finances to do reporting and to track income and to track expenses. And many people in their individual lives do not do this. And we just earn income and we spend it and it goes out the window or it goes towards our bills and our car payments and our cost of living. But a lot of the times we don't look at where the money is going and how it's being spent. And more importantly, how much money is coming in versus how much money is going out. And then if there is an excess or a difference between the two, what you're doing with that money or what you could be doing with that money. So I like to treat my personal finances like a small business or like a business. And if you're not familiar with the fundamentals or the basics of accounting, I strongly recommend doing a little bit of research and trying to educate yourself just on the simple principles and concepts of accounting. And most importantly, a profit and loss or an income statement and the balance sheet. What those two mean and the differences between the two of them and how they relate to one another. So if you can get if you can understand those two reporting statements and how they're used and start treating your own personal finances in the same manner or track your own personal finances in the same manner, you'll start to have a much better visualization on your financial situation and in turn have a better grasp on it. So real quickly, the P&L or the profit and loss basically tracks all your income and your expenses. It's pretty simple. It's the money that comes in and the money that goes out, whether it's a business or an individual. You got your paycheck or, your tips if you're a waiter or waitress or wherever your income is coming from is all revenue coming in. And then any outflow of cash, more or less, is our expenses. And they come out on the P&L, and then whatever's left over would typically be considered profit for a company. But the profit would be what you have left over for your personal cash. But there are a few things that don't go on the profit and loss statement, and they end up on the balance sheet. And these are typically assets. So if you have a house or if you have a car, as well as any of the loans or liabilities that are associated with them. So you can see the debt that's attached to your house. If you buy a $500,000 house, it doesn't mean you have a net worth of $500,000 unless you bought it with all cash. If you used a loan, that debt that the loan is offsets the asset value. And it gives you a true reflection of what your net worth is. And as well, on that balance sheet, you would see any other types of assets, such as whatever bank accounts you might have with cash in them, or any investing accounts, or basically any assets would end up on the balance sheet. So I'm not going to go into all of the details with that today, but I just recommend, if you are interested in having a better grasp on your personal finances, to do a little research, read a book or two, and try to grasp the basic concepts of accounting and implement them into your personal life. And what it will help you do is not only see, your income versus your expenses and how much money you're either making or losing or keeping or losing every month, but also it's going to help you focus on your net worth, which is really important and honestly has a lot to do with real estate investing. It's kind of like their cash flow would be what is represented or reflected on the profit and loss statement. All your principal reduction, your principal pay down on your debt, that all ends up on your balance sheet. So that's what's reflected on your personal net worth. And with just like with real estate, over time, as you hold investment properties, these principal pay downs are occurring and you may be picking up appreciation, but aside from the cash flow, you're really building net worth, which is obviously a very powerful thing. So being able to look at this on your individual level, I think will help you not only get a good grasp on your personal finances, but also give you a better understanding about how money works and the advantages of saving it or investing it and not spending it on things that maybe you don't have to be spending it on. So it's just a really good way to treat your personal financial situation. I think it'll help you a lot. It helps me a lot. You just basically treat your personal finances like a business or like a small business would. There's a couple easy tools to do this. QuickBooks obviously is a great place to start. They've got some starter level subscriptions you could use that are fairly inexpensive. And I think there's some free trials. And there's another website that I like to use called Personal Capital. And that's a really cool tool that will allow you to connect and link your bank accounts and credit card accounts and a lot of different things. So it will automatically pull the data, and it kind of keeps a snapshot of your income and expenses and your net worth in real time. And I'm going to include both those links to QuickBooks and Personal Capital in the show notes below. So I would suggest checking them out. So today I really just wanted to talk to you guys about personal finances and how we can track them better if you're not already. And it really helps keep the focus on your financial goals. So that's pretty much it for today. Also, I know the holidays are coming up. We've got Thanksgiving coming up next week. It's been a challenging year. It's an unusual year. So I know it might be harder for a lot of people out there. Maybe if you don't have family in the area and you can't travel, maybe a lonely Thanksgiving. But, this 2020 might just be a toss out. We got to get through the winter and then we'll be back on track next year, hopefully. So I just want to say I'm thankful this year for all the listeners out there, for all of the followers on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, for all those who have signed up for the investnest.com, and everybody for listening and joining me. I want to remind everybody to be thankful for what we do have, and I hope everybody stays safe out there and has a great holiday season. That's pretty much it for today. So just want to thank everyone again for listening and joining me. I'm going to have another podcast out next week. Hopefully we'll have a guest lined up to talk a little bit about their investing experience. But in the meantime, be sure to check out theinvestnest.com. Hit the subscribe button if you're listening to the podcast. And of course, leave a review if you're enjoying the show so far. It really helps out. And check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the support really helps. So again, I really do thank everybody for joining me. I hope you're enjoying the show. We're trying to improve it week by week. So if everybody out there is liking it so far, that's great. And I want you all to know that it's going to continue to get better and better with each and every episode. So that's it for today. Be sure to check back next week. We'll have another podcast episode, and happy holidays, everyone. Stay safe. And thanks for joining me on the InvestNest Real Estate Investing Show. I'm your host, Travis Murphy, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on the InvestNest Real Estate Investing Show. Be sure to join the InvestNest.com and start learning and earning today.